Good morning, you all. Happy Monday. I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to give a shout out to my brother on the Logical channel. And I've seen this Big Back Keshia named Thailand Key. I've been seeing her for a long time on social media. She's one of these progressive, what you call black women that say they're they fighting against racism and white supremacy, and yada yada yada. They for intersectionalism and all that kind of shit, all that kind of liberal bullshit that they be on, leftist bullshit they on. And the funny thing is, with a lot of black women like her, you'll notice most of these black women on the left, they are real colorful ass people. But if you pull back the layers of these people, man, you find out these people have a lot of insecurity problems. And I was seeing slides of this chick. Just happened to look at slides of this chick, and she, surrounds herself with a lot of liberal politicians, and especially in Atlanta, in the LGBTQ community. They align themselves. That's why I said black women align themselves with all this leftist leaning bullshit, and they expect black women. She was the main one going in on black men not voting democratically. Main one that had something to say about black men not voting democratically, because black men decide we're not going to vote for a candidate that don't represent our interests. And not saying that Donald Trump does represent our interests, because he doesn't, but I was more, in a way, I'm kind of glad that Donald Trump in, but not for the reasons you all think. I'm gonna talk about that later. Like I said, you got this woman, Tyler Key, and most of the time when you pull back the layers of these chicks right there, you find out these so-called pro-black, LGBT supporting, leaning ass women, you'll find is they are in relationship with racist white men. They're in relationships with racist white men. And I understand, because she probably can't get nobody else and she's fat and unattractive. But I can understand that. And he probably can't get nobody because he's unattractive. Normally, that's what normally happens when you see these two group of people meet. They both unattractive and can't get nobody, so they find solitude. They find unity with each other. But she said she was complaining about this man blatant racism and white supremacists, and told him he needed to get therapy. Now this a white man. I don't think white men need therapy. That's how they feel. So how you gonna tell this man that's how he feels? The only thing is, the weird thing is, I noticed this a pattern with a lot of so-called white supremacist white men that sit and date black women. They're dating and have relationships with black women, and it puzzles me, because they always talking about this so-called what you call great replacement. They're always crying about they being replaced, and I'm like, dude, you literally in a relationship with a black woman. How you gonna talk about you being replaced and you laying up with Keshia, having kids with Keshia? And you not replacing yourself? And when you put two and two together, a lot of time these white guys, they can't get the typical white women that they want. They can't get the white women they want because they're not that attractive enough to get the white women, the desired white woman. Or the desired white woman don't want to hear that shit. Yes, the white women do have an aura of white supremacy, but it's completely different. They feel like if you're a white man, you better have your money game up. And you want to talk about white supremacy and shit, you better have your money game up. Don't sit up here and be talking about white supremacy and you broke. It's the same thing that black women do with black men when you talk about pro-blackness, and then you come to find out most of these hotep niggas broke. That's funny. The most pro-black people, ethnically pro-black people, are the brokest people. I gotta agree with Charleston White. And I understand Charleston White. First I had a problem with him saying it, because I thought, then it just kicked me right in the head, like, this is what Charleston White meant. So I'm like, oh shit, now I get it. He was doing all that shit for the community, and the community wasn't doing shit but staying in the same situation. However, only thing I can tell him is underlying things to that shit. They ain't just like that, and you should, as Charleston White, you should understand that it ain't. They just are not like that out the void. Black people ain't like that out the void. Well, this shit is engineered. It's engineered for them to be like that, from the music business and everything. Charleston White, you should know that. And I ain't trying to even go ham on him. I agree with him, but I said it's bigger factors that placate to that. Anyway, back to the subject at hand. Back to Tyler Keith. How the fuck you gonna talk about white supremacy and racism when you land up with one? It's like me being pro-black up there, laying up there with blonde-haired, blue-eyed Becky. Y'all, the whole black community will come down on me like an anvil. They'll beat my ass down there. Boy, I'll get attacked all types of ways if I was talking pro-black shit and they see me with a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, pale-skinned Becky. Y'all will attack me. It wouldn't be an end of y'all to drive me out the community like a motherfucker. Like that one brother, he went off and married. He was pro-black, but he married a white woman. He said he had to get out because they weren't going to accept him. But I said on the comment, but they accept Keshia. They accept Keshia. You might get a white woman that ride with you and just be down. Don't see the oppression of black people. But due to the fact she white, black women that critique her say, you don't got no place to be talking in the black community. Meanwhile, they riding on a white male Johnson, sucking on a white male Johnson. And they telling you can't have no doggone white woman if you be pro-black, but they can. They can lay up with a white man and be in a relationship, and not only just a white man, a racist white man. Because you have a lot of these black women that are in racist religions, racist white dude relationships, and they know the guys are white supremacists, and they'll sit up there talking about he needs psychological help. Bitch, he's a white supremacist. He feels that his race is the superior race. You got black people that feel that their race are the superior race. Do you say they need psychological evaluation? I don't think I don't. I don't need no goddamn psychological fucking evaluation, because I think my people, hey, fuck it, I'm gonna say my people superior then. Do I need psychological evaluation believing in that? Fuck no, I don't. Because that's why I feel. So, and that white man is not gonna change how he feel. So why do you still stay in a relationship with that racist, white supremacist, white male, and let them blow let them lay it up and let them lay pipe to you? You still laid up with him, and he was cool. You was cool with him calling you N-word in bed while he ghetto gagging you. Tyler Key, you was cool with that. So how the fuck you gonna talk about racism and shit, and you laying up literally with a racist? You dumb nigga bitch, that don't even make sense. That don't even make sense. And a lot of the shit y'all nigga bitches do don't make sense. That's why black men don't take y'all serious. That's why we don't take a lot of y'all black women serious. When y'all talk about this pro-black shit, and you with a white man, it's one damn thing you just gone over the fence and you with a white dude, I completely respect that. I respect the diversity to say, hey, I ain't gonna be talking that shit. I'm over here with this white man. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. Cool. Thumbs up to you. Well, I support that. Because I literally do support the divestment movement. I literally do support black women going over to the bread. That's where they want to be at. Fine. Just don't critique Tyrone when he go and choose Becky, and the black man's relationship outcome is way better than yours. Don't get mad at that. That's what I'm trying to say right here. I don't have no problem with our relationships. It's the fact that every time black women fail over the fence, which most of the times they do, they fail over there because white men don't see them the same way as Becky. They're not going to see you the same way as Becky or even Chung Lee. They're going to see you as an inferior mate. That's the bottom line. They're going to see you as an inferior mate because they had to settle for you because they couldn't get the Becky or Susan that they wanted because they didn't have enough money or requirements that qualified them to get with Becky and Susan. So when they see Becky and Susan with her blonde hair and all that shit up there with Tyrone, in their mind, they mad not only get angry at you, they get angry really at her and start calling her all kind of mud sharks while they land up with you. Because in their mind, just like you black women mind, y'all feel y'all the only one should have a choice. Brad feel he's the only one that should have a choice to be able to lay up with whoever he want to because he's a white man. White men have this entitlement. You could even see it in politics. White people in general have this fucking entitlement. You can even see it when they went up to have debates with Ibrahim Traore, how they was arrogant about American exceptionalism, about whiteness and all that, they should have ownership over everything. Because just on an intrinsic note that they're white. And if they can't get their way, they'll crash out. And this is what's going to happen. That is why I'm glad Donald Trump in. I'm glad Donald Trump won. And the reason why, but I'm glad Donald Trump won is not for the reasons what y'all thinking. Oh no, they ain't for the reason why I wanted Donald Trump to win. See, I wanted Donald Trump to win so that white supremacists could come out the woodwork and be the way they are. And that's what you're starting to see right now. You're starting to see these white supremacists come out the woodwork. But see, what's really going to fuck up is like majority of these so-called white supremacists, they are proletarians. They are the poor or the lower middle class. And what they don't understand is why they trying to blame black people and other marginalized people for the shit that's going on, because their white elite white brethren don't give a fuck about them either. But he used them to do a dirty job to keep checks and balances, which they gladly sign up for. They poor white proletarian white men, they gladly sign up to be the motherfucking the buffer class. Because some of them know they the buffer class. And the reason why they know they the buffer class, because they sign up for it, because hopefully they think one day that the rich white oligarchs at the top gonna wink an eye at them and say, hey, come on here, we gonna pull you up here with us. And you gonna be on top of Mount Olympus throwing motherfucking bolts down at everybody else. Because they keep, instead of them, what they want to do, the white elites keep poor black and white people fighting amongst each other. Well, they keep us at bay because we are the scapegoat. They need us to be the scapegoat, the villain. So that the poor white folks could be like they protecting white supremacy. But the actual reality is they just don't know. It's really a class system instead of racist system. It's a class system that they don't want them up there. They don't want to pay y'all money. They don't want to pay nobody. That's why they bring all these migrants over here and shit and get them cheap labor, because they cheap labor. That's why they work at all these big agro farms. That's why they building and shit, because they don't want to pay you white man They don't want to pay black men. They don't want to pay nobody. They want, if they could, they'll enslave us all if they could. They enslave your ass too, whether you know it or not. But damn, I got a little bit, I got off subject. Let me get back on. But the fucking thing is, what Tyler Key is with a lot of these black women that sit up here and talk all this shit, this pro-black shit. To me, they the worst lot of motherfuckers who just really need to shut the fuck up. She need to shut her fat ass up. And what she need to do is get her ass in the gym. But the fucking thing is, she's a motherfucker that hide being pro-black spaces. And to me, I find that quite disgusting. That you'll have actual pro-black people that I've seen before that are outspoken. She up there hugged up with these motherfuckers. To me, that's the most disgusting ass thing. I'm just up here looking at this bitch. It ain't even how she look. It's just what she represent. What she represent that is fake and phony. But I digress.